there is wonder. Heavenletter number 5725. July 28, 2016. Beloveds, you existed before you were conceived on earth. Have I said this before? There never was a time you did not exist. There is an old saying in English, you were just a twinkle in your father's eye. In this case, we could say, you were just a twinkle in your father's eye. Never were you not. I don't care if I have said it 100 times, there never was a time you were not. We always existed in infinity, for you are infinite. We, you and I, exist in infinity to this day. So, yes, your body is temporary, yet you are eternal, and you are infinite eternity. It's fair to say that you are an immortal. In terms of consciousness, you are immortal. Do you have a sort of feeling that you would like to somehow have known yourself way back when? Of course, there was no when or then, yet you would love to know yourself in this way of pure consciousness. There was no muddling through. There was only being, and being you were, and being you are. You have known everyone, not just some. Being knew being. Being knows being. There never was an absence. Of course not, for oneness is always forever. It's hard to imagine, isn't it, the oneness you always existed as? Do you feel our acquaintanceship somewhat now? Do you feel it? There is no way to describe this almost swooning, a kind of silent swooning that runs through the world. Can't be described. Can't be understood. Only can be felt. It is not a vague feeling, yet it is not clear. It is like a tinge of oneness, yet it isn't like that either. Oneness. A simple oneness. You feel drugged by it. If there were a million onenesses, you could not feel greater than this beingness of how oneness feels right now. Can this be heaven? Close. It's close, yet remember in this non-locatable place called heaven, there are no locations. Locations aren't available in infinity any more than the concept of time exists in the non-place of infinity. On Earth, sure, time and space are shoo-ins. You even have maps and clocks, yet maps and clocks are only as if. Maps and clocks are let's pretend. Oneness, on the other hand, is expansion even where there is no more or less. Do you feel expanse in your heart or somewhere right now? Can't be, you may think, yet you do feel something like that. As being, of course, you transcend the world. You transcend transcendence. You exist in oneness, and yet you don't exist, even as you are always ultimately oneness forever. How can love be described? All kinds of words and movie pictures can give ideas and images, yet nothing but oneness equals oneness. Oneness is truth. There is less than truth believed in, and, yet, less than truth does not actually exist anywhere. Oneness may feel like being part of a most wonderful soup or stew. Yet there is not a most anything. Ah, but, yes, there is wonder. If there is no time, how can you ask, when did we meet? No, all we can do is to sigh in wonder. In oneness, there are no thoughts as you know thoughts. Love is known. Love is never not known. Who in oneness can separate love from himself? Yes, there is love, yet who can think or say, ah, yes, this is love, as if love were separate from oneness, as if love could be identifiable when there is no one to identify in oneness. In the joy of oneness, who can muster the energy to get outside of oneness and take a look? No one. Who could even think of a question to ask, let alone disturb oneness, or to answer a question even if it were possible to break the silence of oneness? Who could be bothered? Who would ever want to make the effort? Oh, happiness. Oh, oneness. Your heart says, oh, God, thank you. Channeled by Gloria Wendroff. Heavenletters.org